It was the first Monday of September, and the buzz of teenage chatter filled the hallways of Roosevelt High School. Students moved in waves, some energetic, some sluggish, but all with one thing in common: curiosity about the new teacher taking over room 208. Word had already spread like wildfire. "She's too young to handle this class," someone whispered near the lockers. "Mr. Thompson quit mid-semester last year. What makes her think she can last a week?" Another added. Room 208 wasn't just any classroom. It was home to 11B, a class infamous across the district for devouring teachers alive. The students weren't monsters, but many were broken in ways they couldn't name. Poverty, neglect, pressure, loneliness, it hardened them, and some turned that hardness into cruelty. They didn't believe in respect anymore. They believed in survival. And so, when Ms. Eliza Monroe walked into the room, wearing a simple cardigan, sensible shoes, and a warm but steady gaze, the class leaned back with smug anticipation. They'd seen her type before. Kind eyes. Soft voice. A heart too open for its own good. "Good morning," she said, setting down her bag and writing her name on the whiteboard in neat cursive. "I'm Ms. Monroe. I'll be your English teacher this semester." Silence. Then a snicker. Eliza smiled, not the smile of someone trying to win them over, but one born of experience and grounded strength. She scanned the room with a calm that made even the loudest students feel, for a fleeting second, seen. "We're going to write today," she said, passing out papers. "One question. What's something about you nobody knows, but should?" The snickers turned into murmurs. "What is this?" "Therapy?" asked Jalen, the tallest in class and the leader of the group that made substitute teachers cry. "No," Eliza said softly, "just a chance to be real for once." Another laugh. "Lady, you don't know this school." Eliza didn't flinch. "Maybe not. But I know people. They didn't write. Not at first. Instead, it began." Jalen pulled out his phone and started blasting music. Someone in the back hurled a paper airplane toward her. Another shouted, "Hey, Teach, you married? You look lonely." Eliza paused. She didn't shout. Didn't send anyone to the office. She calmly walked over to the speaker, picked up Jalen's phone, turned it off, and handed it back to him. He blinked. "You can't touch my phone." "You're right," she said gently. "I'm sorry for that. It won't happen again." She turned to the class. "But now that we're done proving points, can we try something new?" Her voice didn't waver. Not once. They didn't know what to make of her. And that's when the clock started ticking. 60 seconds. That's all it took. She walked to the board and wrote something new. A single sentence. "I see the good in you, even when you hide it." 1 minute of stillness passed. Her words sat heavy in the air. Jalen spoke first. "You trying to guilt trip us or something?" "No," she replied. "I'm trying to remind you who you are beneath the noise." She turned to him. "What's your story, Jalen?" He stiffened. "I ain't got one. Everyone does." He stared. No teacher ever said his name like that. Like it meant something. Behind him, his friend shifted uncomfortably. One girl bit her lip. Another rubbed her wrist. Then, something surprising happened. Kayla, who hadn't spoken a full sentence since the start of school, raised her hand. "My mom left last month," she whispered. "People think I'm quiet 'cause I'm shy. I'm not. I'm just scared." The room was silent. Even Jalen didn't laugh. Ms. Monroe walked over and handed Kayla a tissue. "Thank you for sharing something brave." More hands slowly went up. Stories poured out. Not because they had to, but because someone finally listened without judgment. One boy talked about sleeping in his cousin's garage. Another about his sister's overdose. Even the ones who stayed silent looked different now. Less like kids trying to survive and more like people wanting to be seen. In 60 seconds, the battle they'd prepared to fight turned into something they didn't expect. Peace. Not silence. Not submission. But peace. They didn't beg for forgiveness with words. They did it with the way they sat straighter, how they listened, how their mocking tones melted into hesitant honesty. The war was over before it began. Because Eliza Monroe didn't fight them. She understood them. And in that understanding, they found themselves.